Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so we have a bug fix from Slumlord. Prevent hang in a network lobby with long player names. Aha. Okay, that is very interesting. Debug log, new map name. Okay, let me read the description first. When many players with long names join a lobby, the host can hang. Anyways, with long names join a lobby, the host can hang. This is caused by an eternal loop. Eternal loop. We're trying to truncate player names in order to fit the entire game info within a network packet. The eternal looping is a result of having overflowed the total packet size, and thus requiring a player name to have negative length in order to fit within the packet. The truncation is done with a while loop, checking if a string is longer than the required value, and if so, removing the last character. Removing the last character on an ASCII string is a no-op, and thus the loop continues. Removing the last character on an ASCII string is a no-op. The last kind. Why? Why is it a no-op? And thus the loop continues. This name truncation is not implemented in generals and is therefore not affected by this issue. Instead of attempting to truncate the player names on the fly, make an estimate of the average name length permitted by the remaining space in the packet. This remaining space is variable from game to game, as the map name, map file size, and game seed are not of fixed length. Once the estimated max name length has been determined, truncate all player names if needed, in order to prevent a case such as 7 players having 10 character names, while the last player gets truncated to a single character name. The actually available space in the packet is adjusted according to the consumed space by the various options, and thus the higher ID player slots can get more space available to them. Longer names. More space. Well, it's a really complex description and fixed description. The longest option string a human player can have looks like 33. Oh boy. The longest option string an AI can have. Oof. Now we're beginning to pre-compute this bullshit. Oh boy, it just makes it more complicated, doesn't it? Oh boy. Okay, let me see the issue first. Where's the issue? Where's the issue? Here, remove last char. What a horrible way to truncate. I hate ASCII string. Wait, so remove last char. What does it do? Remove last char. Oh boy. It indeed is horrible. By the way, why does ASCII string do strlen on strings? Doesn't it have its length cached? Ah no, only the allocated length. Right, it only has the allocated buffer length. Yeah. It has a reference count and the allocated length. ASCII string could be optimized if we say here we could yeah, it would work. We could have another unsigned short here. Yeah, 6 bytes. So we have ref count, num chars allocated, and then we could have num chars used, right? Num chars used. And that would say, so basically we then, well, we would, no, it would be okay. So behind this, oh, hold on, ASCII string data, m data, char, inline peak, return char, this plus 1. So the first character is behind this string data. Yeah. So on a 64-bit, this will be padded to 8 bytes anyway, right? So these 4 bytes actually become 8 bytes. This thing on 64-bit is 8 bytes. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. No, that doesn't make sense. No, it's the same size. It's the same size. There's no pointer involved. The string just starts right after this, so it's the same in 32-bit and 64-bit. Never mind. Okay, but we could add here another field, another unsigned short for the length, and then we just say, yeah, the use count. Then we save on all these strlen bullshits. Yeah. So this remove last char. Remove last char. strlen. Show unique buffer of size, and then it writes a 0 here. Yeah. Okay, but then I don't understand why he says that this is a no-op. Why is this a no-op? Because it just keeps on looping here forever? Is that true? If name the length is larger than len max. Can we prevent hanging network lobby with long player names? Okay, let me look at this in here. So where's it hanging? Here. Where's it? Here. LAN max. $400. Max options length. Okay, so what I can already tell is calculation is very complicated. But the original was also very complicated, as I can see here. But his is more complicated, because now there's more logic to it. I wonder if all this is really necessary. Let me put a breakpoint here. Oof. I don't know why it's now recompiling again. It wasn't the deal. Oh, why is it compiling so long now? What is this? So I can already say I don't like this implementation because it makes too many assumptions here. Like there's too much hard coding of length and bullshit and magic numbers, and that's not cool. It makes it really error prone because as soon as you touch something here, then all this logic falls apart, right? It's really hard to maintain this bullshit, right? That's my takeaway right now. So it makes it super complicated. So I wonder if there's a strategy to make this easier. So for example, we can say I think the way I would implement this, I would compute the string once fully as nothing, no, without any consideration, just compute this shit, yeah. And then afterwards, check how much it overflows, and then by this information, we then build it again, and we then use this information to truncate things where we can. Like I would assume that building the string once is pretty fast, so might as well just build it twice. So I'm really not. I wouldn't be concerned about that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in one pass. It can be two pass, because it's also just like an exceptional state if it overflows, right? It's not the norm. Yeah, it's not the norm. It's the exception. Well, unless players like to play 4 versus 4 then all the time, right? Yeah. Okay, so I would like to see it in debugger once so I can more easily understand the flow. Let me go here and do that. Okay. I don't know why it has recompiled this now. I didn't switch branch or anything. It's weird. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. Okay. So basically I just go with a single player into the lobby and just step through the code just to see like what it does, right? That will help understand like what is actually happening. Oops. Oh. Multiplayer, network, there we go, create game, and there we go. Good, so slot is human. So what is it doing right now? Game, where's the string? String is option string here. Okay, so option string already has some length. Make sure the name doesn't cause overflow. LAN current 116, LAN remaining 284, LAN max 35, max slots divided by x minus 1, LAN max, LAN max. So this would be, while, so in what condition would it go infinite now? How would it infinitely loop now? What a horrible way to truncate. That's it. Okay, so let's say len max, len remaining, len current. Yeah, so let's say len max, let's say len current was larger than this, then len remaining would be negative, and then we would divide, len max would be a negative value. Yeah, would be a negative value. Yeah. Yeah. Negative value. Okay, let's say is human. So if name get length is larger than a negative value, why does he say, he says this is a no op. Right, get name, get length. Right. 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 If this is a, right. If this is becomes a negative value, right, then it just keeps looping forever. Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So this, yeah, yeah. This illustrates quite nicely why this should have been an unsigned integer. Then this issue wouldn't have happened. Yeah. Okay, so what would be the most reasonable way to fix this? So he opted with calculating available space. Oh. AI options length. AI options. Yeah. Okay, so let me read this. Instead of attempting to truncate the player names on the fly, make an estimate of the average name length permitted by the remaining space. From game to game. Estimated max name length has been determined. Truncate all player names if needed. But this implementation, it also starts truncating num humans. Hold on. Num humans. Okay, it goes through here, num humans. Yeah. Determine the average worst case name length we need to enforce to fit in the network packet. Implementation looks complicated. Fix looks complicated. I suggest a different approach. So game info to ASCII string. High level. So we have so str. So this is a game, yeah. And then we say if str dot len length, I don't know what the name is larger than this limit. Yeah, this one. But first we need to high-level sequence. So basically we need to have a std vector ASCII string player names build player names build player names build player names with limits, with char limits. Just char limit. Player names. And then, so this is game. Player names. It's just exploring different approach, high-level sequence of events to fix the mess. So first we built player names. Now regarding the char limit, it would be nice to say we can say how much with truncation with truncation. Zero. Yeah, and we have here player names equals with, let's call it with truncate. Yeah, and then here we have if that is larger than this, and then we do truncate amounts. Truncate amount is this minus that, and then we pass a truncate amount here, and then we build it again. Player names, info string, info string, the super hackers had bug fix, properly truncate the string, the game info string, safely truncate the game info string by scrapping characters of strings if the length is too large. This is a two-pass. This is a two-pass build, but the second pass is an exceptional. It's an exceptional pass and not the norm. Plus, but it is easier to understand and also easier to modify strip, either to modify or remove after the fact. Okay, so this one should be, I mean, we could avoid an allocation here. So the thing is that this one now allocates twice, right? So this is one allocation here, and here's another one, and this one is allocation and this one, right? I do wanna... I would say it's, we can probably do it like this, where you say, of player names if the overall length is too large. And then here we say if player name if info string is still larger than this, let's say player names. I mean, they shouldn't be. Yeah, truncated. So I mean, we can say here if info string if info string is larger than length. So if it's still larger, then debug crash. Debug crash. Abort or whatever. Unable to truncate player names to fit into the string, fit into the game info string. Unable to truncate. It also has the added benefit of making a second player names with truncate. Actually, we can already. Okay, you know what? I think we can actually. We don't need to do this here. We can have this already earlier. So what we can do is here, player names. We make this a parameter. It's in and out. Player names. Then here we pass this again, and we make this a Boolean. If not that, unable to truncate the required space of player names. Unable to scrap. Yeah. Yeah. And then here we have int Truncator mount. Could be unsigned int, right? Const. It also has the added benefit of making better approach. The presented fix is too complicated. Better approach. High level illustration. Yeah, I think this needs to be simplified. The implementation here is just way too complicated. It's too hard to understand. Like all this here, yeah, it's not good. Like I think it should be external. You just say, hey, I want to build this. I want to build this thing here. I supply the player names. If the build length is larger than this, then we modify the player names and we try again. And if the player names cannot even be truncated, then yeah, bad luck. Yeah. 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 So this is a critical bug. Critical network 0. This is stability. Good. Then, yeah. Good. So, notifications, we have none. Okay. Good. Then I think we can continue with. Oh, right. We need to revert that first. Okay, let me also move this up here. Let me also enable generals. Good. So next is that shit. Yeah, slot, slot, slot. Slot, slot. Okay. Okay, update slot list. Ah. Okay, so slot. Slots, slot. That's a slot. Else. I mean, is it even possible that this can be null? Slot. Slots. Invalid slot number. Only if this, okay. How do other functions deal with this? Oof. It's used quite a lot. Game. Do we even need this test here at all? I think we just assume that it's not now. As long as we don't iterate the wrong range. When is this allocated here? Get const slot. Set slot. Clear slot list. It is 0 initialized here. I will be right back. Okay. Next. So the where is this allocated? I would like to understand the lifetime of that thing. Set slot. Get slot. Get slot. So it can be null somehow. Who's allocating this thing? Because here we are copying it into, right? This is copying it. It's not creating it. How are we? Where are we creating the slot? I don't understand. I don't see it. I'm a bit confused about this. Huh? Where is the slot created? Where is it allocated? I don't get it. I see a no place. Ah, here. Set slot pointer. Aha. Oof. Okay, and who's doing that? Set slot pointer. GUI Utah. Game network. Game network. Game slots. Game info. Aha. Ah, we set it from external. Aha. Okay, that's weird. But in the constructors. Okay, why is that? Why is that done? I don't understand. That's weird. Why are the slots in here? Why didn't they make it part of game info directly? Why does it have to be set from outside? That's so weird. That really is weird, yeah. Huh. That's yeah. Why? Why? Ah, because a game info can have no slots, maybe. Maybe that's why. Yeah. Maybe. Public game info. So there's replay game info, which does set it. Skirmish game info, which sets it. Games by game info, that sets it as well, I think. Yes, it does. Staging game room. That one does not. It does. It does. In cleanup slot pointers, it actually sets slot pointers. What is that bullshit? Okay, that name is confusing. Okay, I have no idea why they set it up in this fashion. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. Okay, but I think we can assume that this shit is never null. Yeah, these pointers are not null. Yeah. Sets, get slots. think we can add here debug assert crash. It's not now. Okay, it's slot is null. Do the same here. You know what? Instead of doing that, how about we just remove this weird construct? How about we just say this, but then we need to touch so much code, right? This slot, and let's see, how often is this accessed? No. Probably is manageable. So my suggestion here would be, we say we remove this bullshit. And we remove gets set slot pointer. Where's that? Set slot pointer here, set slot pointer. We remove that garbage. Yeah. Okay, and then we see what fails to compile here. Yeah. Then here we do dot reset. That. We do that and that. Then we can remove this. And then game info. Then we can remove that. And then we can remove all this here. Okay. Okay. And then we search for all this set slot pointer shits here. Here. And then we remove all that private. So we remove that. LAN game info. Then we have here get slot. Hold on. Is it protected? Game info. Protected M slot. Wait, we need to change this, right? Oh, I'm modifying the wrong one right now. Okay, hold on. I'm now modifying two different games because we have generals compiled in. Let me get that out. Okay. Okay, so this is protected, which is great, which means that, let me search for this one more time so we just see it in a 0-hour code. For some reason it still shows generals code. I don't know why that is. Okay. So this needs to go away. No. Then this goes away. And then this here goes away. And this will be just M slots. M slot. There we go. Then we do the same here. Clean up slot pointers. This is called more than once. No. Delete that and that. Then move that. That. M slot. Slot. There we go. Somehow that doesn't work. Why not? Oh, hold on. Oh, they can have different kinds of slots. Oh, okay, now I understand. Okay. Oh. They want different kind of slots. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, well then, no, we can't touch it. It's different kinds. That's why they use this pointer shit. Okay, well, I revert all that. Never mind then. Okay. But then it means... Yeah, okay, then it means we put our... get slots. That means we need the assert here. Null slot pointer. Okay, let's put generals back in action. Okay, that's unfortunate, yeah. Maybe a template class would have been better. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then here we say update slot lists, game info, update slot info. Yeah, so we expect that this guy is not null, right? Slot is not supposed to be null. As long as we index it correctly, which we do. We can remove that. Okay. Then that means we don't need any null check here. Yeah, it would have crashed anyway if this was possible, right? Update slot list. It would have crashed where is human slots. It would have crashed here. Yeah. So we don't say prevent the referencing null pointer, but we remove unnecessary null pointer tests. Let me reword that. Remove unnecessary null pointer tests. Null pointer tests. There we go. Then we stage this, we amend that. And there we go. Good. I can stand with this decision. This change removes unnecessary null pointer tests and makes the compiler happy. Tests. So this is GUI util. There we go. The slot pointers are always initialized and not expected to be null ever. Refactor minor. Okay, next. Do cameo flash. Let me see that. Find command button name. Do cameo flash. So this cameo flash, I guess. Get string. Yeah, I guess it happens when you specify like an invalid input string. Yeah. So this is probably a bug. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's not a bug. With bug, I mean not a user-facing bug, as in like the player typically doesn't reach it. This change prevents dereferencing null pointer button and and makes the compiler happy. I think this code pass could be reached by providing a by handing over a button name. This could be reached by handing over a button name that does not exist. Whether this happens in the original game, I do not know. Probably does not. Okay, so this refers to button. Let me search for button. There we go. You can put it in stability. Okay, next. NTI. NTI. Sites list. Okay, I can't remember what I did here. Okay, so this new num teams allocated is max num teams or that NTI teams. Max takes max, right? Yeah. Num teams. Is this correct then? Num teams larger equal that. Num teams allocated. New num teams allocated max. Num teams is larger. Num teams is I think we should also have this plus this, right? Let me search for this line here. So I think we should add this here as well, right? So if this is larger, then like let's say that even this here would be smaller than num teams, then it wouldn't do anything, right? So that's why we should take the max at this. Actually, I would go even so far, it should be just num teams plus that. Hold on. We can just do that. Yeah. Yeah. It shows a lot of problems here still. Can we... how can we refresh this, the static analysis here? I don't know. Okay, well, let's go through it. New num teams allocated must be this plus that. Okay, that clear. It looks correct, but it still shows here the warnings. That's too bad. Rip. Okay, so somehow it still complains. I don't know if that's just outdated bullshit here. Let me restart Visual Studio to force a refresh. Maybe it's just outdated. I know that the IntelliSense, it just takes forever to update the bullshit. So maybe it's just that, or I don't know. Fetch and rebase. Okay, so it's still complaining. Okay, there's something is still wrong. What? What is wrong here? Why is it complaining? Reading invalid data. The readable size is, but 8 bytes might be read. M teams num teams. Invalid data from NTI. Four bytes. 8 bytes times 4 bytes. 8. Okay, I don't understand right now why it's still complaining. M teams. Delete. M teams. NTI. So this one is at least that large plus that. So that's plus that, yeah. That's a new size. Yeah. Teams allocated. And then team alloc chunk. Then it allocates here and numpty. It writes over here. It looks innocent, doesn't it? Yeah. The rest will be cleared. I don't know why it calls clear though. Init null. What does that do? Declare if the init null declare. What is dict? Class dict clear. What does that do? Release data null. To me it looks like that this here can also be removed. That seems irrelevant. Yeah. Delete M teams. Num teams allocated. Is that new number? Yeah. I don't understand why it is still complaining. It shouldn't be complaining. It looks perfectly fine. Let me run a static analysis pass here. That will probably take forever though. Yeah. But that it shouldn't warn here. I don't understand. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that I'm not sure if this is outdated result or if it's still wrong, but it doesn't look wrong to me, so I have no idea what it's warning on here. There shouldn't be a warning because it's always larger now. This is guaranteed to be larger than M Teams, right? So I don't think there's a problem. It'll probably take a while, huh? It helps to organize. So organize. Done with folder name slash branch name. Put my branches into. Yes, I often check out remote branches. These generally land right next to main branch because okay, that was actually faster. Okay, so it still shows this error here. Let me search for it here. NTI. Okay, for some reason it won't show it here. Okay, there it is. Okay, so it's still complaining somehow. Huh, how? Num teams. Why is it complaining? Count how many teams to allocate at a time. Count how many teams to allocate. Reading invalid data. Reading invalid data. Why? What is wrong here? There's something I'm missing. So if num teams is bigger than this, or bigger or equal, then we take a new allocation, which is num teams plus this margin, so eight more than this, and which is also longer than this, right? Okay, and then we allocate this here, yeah, and then we iterate here, and we assign this here and here. Num teams. I don't understand what the problem is. Somehow it's not happy, the compiler. I don't know how to make the compiler happy here. Yeah. Readable size is 4 bytes. But 8 bytes may be read. Oh. Remove team. Why is this so bad here? What is this here? teams. Remove team. What? Uh-huh. Oof. Oh boy. Man, what is the problem here? I don't understand. Does anyone understand what the problem is? I don't. I don't see the problem. It looks perfectly fine. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Was this even a problem in the other one in generals? Yeah, it's also still a problem here. Okay, so I never fixed it. I have no idea. I mean, I mean, the way it was written before here. So before it used num teams allocated +8. That I can see. That I can see because if this was larger than this +8, yeah, then this would be too small, this allocation, right? And then here it would dereference something that is beyond its size, right? So that I do see. But here we literally we fixed it. It's interesting that they doubled this here, num teams. I don't know. I don't know. Reading invalid data. Is it? No. Num teams larger equal that. M teams equals that. Teams larger equal. Oh, this memory management looks very expensive as well. This one I think should be here, this. Right? Remove team. It shouldn't clear up to the end, it should just clear up to that. How many teams to allocate at a time? Oh, what is the problem here? Is the static analyzer is tricking me somehow. I don't see it. How about we put a breakpoint here and we step a bit through it and see what happens. Maybe that helps us understand this bullshit. So we do a pragma optimize off. Yeah. It's slow. It's a mystery to me why the static analyzer is complaining here. It doesn't make sense, but if he complains, there must be a reason for it. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I see all sorts of bullshit in this code, but I don't see that. The original complaint, I think that was rather valid, fair. But this looks unreasonable, but it could be that I'm missing something. No. Let me actually run with shell map. Win. Okay, there we go. So num teams allocated is 0. Yeah. So now we allocate 8. Yeah. So that's 8. And then and then delete m teams. Yeah. We assign that and we set that. Num teams init. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Well, let's put another breakpoint here. There we go. So now num teams is larger than that shit. 16. There we go. Now it copies some stuff over. Yeah. 8 times. There we go. Then it deletes that. Assigns that. And off we go. So it seems totally fine to me. Absolutely 100% clean. Yeah. What is the problem here? No team removal. I have no clue what he's complaining about. No. I don't know. Let's start here. Some unofficial map. Oh, we need some enemy maybe. Remove team. Okay. Let me see that. Num teams 5. Yeah. Move team number 1. Now we are 4. Number 4 will be cleared. Teams. Eight. M teams 8. Right. Yeah. I don't know how to fix that. To me, it looks like this should work just fine. Okay, well. Okay, let me replicate this in generals. optimize. NTI. Let's open this as a draft. This change attempts to prevent reading invalid data from it to make the compiler happy. Unfortunate, it does not make the compiler happy. I have no clue why. Fix minor. That appears to be, it does not look like would be a runtime issue, runtime problem. Be unsafe if num teams was larger than I adjusted the logic for it, but the compiler is still mad about it. Still not happy with it. Useless clearing, waste of cycles, CPU cycles. too much clearing. Waste of CPU cycles. Good. I have no idea why the compiler is still mad about this bullshit. It doesn't make sense to me. But okay, whatever. Okay, what is this? If shader type. Else shader type. If shader type. Uh-huh. Right. Do we add yeah. Okay, this change prevents using and makes the compiler happy. This is this cannot this will not happen in practice, but the compiler complains here because technically a bool could be different from values true and false. Complain. Okay, this is a refactor minor. So that if W3D shader manager, W3D shader manager, there you go. Okay, next 31. Local alloc. Local alloc. Return value. If the function fails, the return value is null. Actually, it's only local. I look for the header. Okay. This change prevents the referencing null pointer in and makes the compiler happy. It's no practical issue. Refactor minor. Yeah, this is no practical issue. W3D display. W3D display. Okay, next. That's also just a refactor. Refactor minor. This change just adds missing break keywords between switch labels and that to make the compiler happy. There's no functional change at all. That is that. What files are we talking about? W3D display. W3D water. I have no records of this. Okay. %.02D, I imagine. Okay, what is this? Right, preload texture assets. This change fixes dereferencing. Fix minor. So that control bar scheme. Control bar scheme. Game window manager scripts. Game window manager scripts. Game window. Okay. Create gadgets. Window. Window. Push button. Window. Window. Yeah. Where's the dereference? 2019. Oh, that's generals, isn't it? (2019). Turn window. So it could theoretically return null in uninitialized memory. This change fixes using in create gadgets. This create gadget. I think we can just remove that. Create gadget. Makes the compiler happy. Basically, this function would return an initialized pointer if I mean, does this ever happen? Hold on. How about we put a breakpoint in there? Let's do a pragma optimize off. And then we go down here and we put a breakpoint here. And let's visit some screens and see if that ever hits. Yes, it is frame count modulo 30. Yes. The format is hhmmss.ff. Huge. Very well. We also get a clock. Big. Timers ideally are toggleable by the user, but for now I think it is good enough if it is static. Okay, so we have this bullshit. Then let's run the game and see if that breakpoint ever is hit or not. Let me actually see if that function is hit at all. Oh, it is. Ah, well, yeah, never mind. Right. It's hit because that's also part of the valid code path. We need a different code path. We say we put a breakpoint if window is null. Then we do window, I don't know, equals window. So we can could put a breakpoint here. Good, let's try that again. Okay, let's open here some screens. Skirmish. Challenge. Options. Advanced. Multiplayer, network. Create game. Back. Direct connect. Yeah. Okay, doesn't seem to be hit, so it's only a theoretical issue, right? Would return an initialized pointer if the gadget type was not recognized. I put a breakpoint and visited a few menus and was unable to hit this. It probably is a theoretical issue only. I put a fix minor. Probably, let's say it probably is no concern for the game runtime. Good. Okay. Good. I think I would like to take a break here. Yeah, it's been 2 hours 30. Good. All right. We got a bit of stuff done, maybe less than I hoped for. We only got to about 35 here. We still have up to 74. Yeah. I think we can already delete some of them because I merged 4 of them earlier. Yeah, so some are gone. Good. All right. Good. I will take a break here. Then I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.